Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Continuing today with stoichiometric calculations, we have a sum here where we see 10 grams of iron are placed with 10 grams of sulfur in a reaction vessel. Identify the limiting reagent and calculate the mass of the substance in excess. So to begin with, we must write down the equation Fe plus S will form FeS. Now here we see that we are given, after writing the balance equation, we must write the relevant parts. We are given 10 grams of iron and we are given 10 grams of sulfur. And they are asking us now, in number one, identify the limiting reagent. Now the limiting reagent is the one that will get finished first. Now how do we figure that out? What we will have to do is look at the periodic table and see the masses of the given substances. So if we look at the periodic table, we see the mass of iron is 56. The mass of iron is 56. So we know that 56 grams of iron will always react with 32 grams of sulfur. Now looking at that, we see that a greater amount of iron will react with a smaller amount of sulfur. Now we can use that to figure out which will be the limiting reagent by looking at the masses that are given. So using logic, we can see that a bigger amount of iron reacts with a smaller amount of sulfur. So when we have 10 grams of iron, there will be less amount of sulfur that reacts. So assuming we have 10 grams of iron and say we say 7 grams of sulfur reacts. So when the 10 grams is used up, there will still be 3 grams of sulfur that will be left because the bigger amount will get finished first. So we can say that the iron will get finished first. So therefore the answer to the first question is identify the limiting reagent. The answer will be the limiting reagent is iron. Now number two, the question is calculate the mass of the substance in excess. So what we have here, to calculate it, I will be using the mass way method of doing the sum before. We see we have identified that the iron will be used up first. So using the mass method, we can say 56 grams of iron reacts with 32 grams of sulfur. Therefore, we got 10 grams of iron. How many grams of sulfur will react? And by using the X method, we cross multiply, we take the bottom onto the top on the other side. We see we get 56x is equals to 32 multiplied by 10. And we want x, so we get rid of the 56 by dividing both sides by 56. And if you want to work out x, let's say 32 times 10 divided by 56, and we see that we got 5,71 grams. The answer is 5,71 grams of sulfur will react. So we see that this makes sense because the bigger one, we said that according to the first case that the bigger one gets finished first, so the 56 will react to 32, so 10 will react with 5,71. But we must answer the question, and the question says calculate the mass of the substance in excess. So if you want to work out the excess, we have to say that, just extend the page, we say that we got 10 grams of sulfur and 5,71 grams reacted. So therefore, plus 10 minus 5.71 will give us 4,29. So we can say therefore 4,29 grams of sulfur is in excess. Meaning that when the iron reacts, the iron will be 10 grams of iron will be used up, 5,7 grams of sulfur will react, and then the remainder, the 4,29 grams of sulfur will be remaining over and will not be reacting in this formula to form iron sulfide. So 4,29 grams of sulfur will be in excess. So this is a basic sum on the limiting reagent on stoichiometric reactions. Thank you very much for watching.